What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Meesh West Coast, and we are back with yet another season of Spill It With Meesh. Welcome to season 3 and our first episode of this season. Y'all read the title, Success Guilt. Why do we be feeling bad for growing, cousin? That's what we're supposed to be doing. So, to set the vibes and to kind of get into it, y'all know we got a drink of the episode, but I've added a new little element, y'all. We're going to be lighting a candle, okay? Like, we are going to be setting the full vibe. So, I have a scented candle here that I am going to light for us. And I got a little bit of warm apple cinnamon. Just reminds me of my mom. It just reminds me of home. I like to set those vibes. So, cousins, we grind, we level up, and finally we start winning, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. Why do we be feeling guilty about that, though? Like, why do we feel guilty that we did the work that we were supposed to do? Don't worry about nothing, cousin. We're about to get right into it, okay? So, again, the episode is called Success Guilt. And growing just because too many of us dim our lights to make other people feel relevant. Cousin, that's not the vibe. That is not the vibe at all. But before we get started, y'all, we're gonna make our drink of the episode. So our drink of the episode is the Mama I Made It, okay? So we have a refreshing, vibrant mocktail, you guys. We are not starting off with alcohol this season, okay? We are not. So this mocktail screams success, fresh starts, and really just winning. So here we are. We have our glass with our ice. And you guys, I have some sparkling soda, I guess it would be called. So I got like a flavored sparkling soda. And I'm just going to add that in. This is about 4 ounces. So I'm going to add it all in, okay? I've got some peach syrup for a little color and a little flavor. And I have about 2 tablespoons of that. I've got some candy, because y'all know I love cute. And I've got a lemon wheel, also super cute. I feel like it just goes with the vibe. It's starting to warm up here. I don't know if it's starting to warm up where you guys are, but here in Las Vegas, as soon as it starts to peak into the 70s, listen, I'm ready for a barbecue. So let's go ahead and just kind of mix this around so the syrup doesn't sit at the bottom. But how cute is she? Ooh, she's good. Okay, cousins, disclaimer for the sparkling soda, I did like a blackberry lemonade, okay? With the peach, 10 out of 10 do recommend, cousin. Make your mama I made it, okay? So, have you guys ever felt guilty for your success? Some people may feel like, I don't necessarily feel like I felt guilty, but maybe you feel bad for not still touching with your people or still not bringing your people. Not everybody can go. What did Nipsey say? Circle got smaller, everybody can go. Everybody cannot go. Everybody is not ready to grow up and be in the limelight of success if the work hasn't been done. So you cannot feel bad for not taking them. So I asked a couple of you guys on Instagram, have you ever felt guilty for your success? So I had someone say, I literally stopped sharing my wins because my friends got weird every time I did. Baby girl, that's not your friend, okay? Your friend shouldn't feel weird about you leveling up or getting to the next level. They should be there and they should be celebrating you. And you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't be able to share that. You should always want to share that with them. So I had someone else say, I used to feel bad, but then I realized real love celebrates, not competes. See what I'm saying? That first one, like just to go back to that first one, real love, real people that love you and real people that really want to see you win, they are going to celebrate you. So don't worry about the people that are not. Don't worry about the people that's like, ooh, must be nice. Weird. Extremely weird. And then I had another person say, if they don't clap when you win, they're just not your people, period. All ties into the first one, right? Those are not the people you need to be around. And it's time to probably elevate your way of thinking so you can find yourself your people. So, and this is why we have to be honest about who's in our circle, right? What Nipsey say, y'all, circle got smaller. Everybody can't go. Everybody is not allowed. And that's okay. So let's play Messy Stips. I'm going to read some scenarios and you tell me, is this a true friend or a hater? Yeah, I said it. A hater. Sucks to suck, but yeah, a hater. So scenario 1, you're always the one to reach out. You're always the one to make plans and keeping the friendship alive. Like, is this a true friend or a hater? If you have to do all the work, I'm going to tell you right now, because then that's a hater. Why do you always have to be the one to invite somebody? Why do you always have to be the one that's like, oh, I have this going on, please come? It shouldn't be like that. People should be asking you when they can come with you to things like that. That is what a true supporter or a true follower of your success would be doing. So don't confuse the two. So scenario number 2, when you were around and you were struggling, they really weren't supportive. They weren't really helpful. They had their little smart little comments like I said, the must be nice or couldn't be me, right? What type of person is that? Is that somebody you want in your corner, or is that a hater? That is a hater. Like 100% that is a hater, and never fall short of remembering. Those types of behaviors, things that don't fall into supporting you or literally just word of mouth to content, like it doesn't matter. Like if somebody supports you, you will know, like it's loud. The same way the hate is, okay? So never confuse the two, and never feel bad for the hate that you're receiving for the success that you're in right now. Everybody cannot go. Don't forget that. So some of you guys have to be real with yourselves. Not everybody is going to be happy about your success, and that is okay. I say that so often. Like, it is okay if somebody is not necessarily on the same wave as you. It's okay that you've progressed. You don't have to bring them. Your obligation is not to bring them. Your obligation is to yourself and what you're doing. And I'll go into selfishness. That's going to be another topic. We're going to go into what it means to be selfish, what selfishness is to you and what selfishness is to the next person. But back to our success guilt, okay? So, experiencing survivor's remorse. So when you come from struggle, you feel bad for leaving those people behind. But again, you cannot feel bad that you did the work in a different time frame that the work was even brought to the struggle, okay? Your success is not built off the same struggle. Sometimes your lesson is going to come a lot sooner than the next person's, and that is okay. Maybe they need to see you influence them to make that change. So don't feel bad for that. So imposter syndrome, that's something I talk about a lot. That's something I go through a lot. So imposter syndrome is you finally get a win, but you don't feel like you deserve it. So the feedback I get about the podcast, I don't feel like I'm necessarily there. But do I appreciate it? Yes. Does it keep me going? Yes. But am I still living in imposter syndrome? Yes. I'm still struggling with getting over that curve that I do deserve to be here because I put in a lot of work. A lot comes out of all of this. It's not just what you guys see. A lot of work comes out of this. So I very much do deserve to be here because I work really hard for this to be here. So, fear of losing relationships. You're scared your glow up will push people away. I've also been there. Does it hurt? Yes, because you feel like, dang, I did the work that I was supposed to. Why aren't you happy for me? You can't get yourself wrapped up in that, because again, not everybody's going to understand. This takes work. Getting to success takes work. It does not just come overnight. So, don't feel bad for those things. Do not feel bad that you're going through any of those things. Stand in those things, and they help you grow. They help you elevate, and they help you remain successful. So let's be clear. Your success is not betrayal, okay? So again, cousins, your success is not betrayal. Don't forget that. You're not responsible for making other people comfortable with your greatness. Again, I'm going to repeat that one. You are not responsible for making people appreciate your greatness. Okay? Don't forget that one. So, I'm going to read you another scenario, and I want you to understand why in this scenario would these people be who you need to stay mindful of. So, a person will say, I'm proud of you, but they never show up or support you. Is that true support? Is that a supporter of your success? No. They're saying it just to say it. They're saying it just because you're sharing it. They're saying it just for the talk of the conversation. Have you ever heard that people talk just because they have lips? Probably not, because my mom says that wild mess. But sometimes people do talk just because they have lips. Steer clear, okay? And don't entertain conversations like that. It does not make you a bad person to not want to entertain things like that. People hype you up in private, but not in public, right? A person will tell you all day long, again, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you. You can't even get them to share your content, though. A share is free. Telling somebody about your situation or your influencing is free. Word of mouth is free. Don't forget that. People celebrate you genuinely and share your wins genuinely and want to see you thrive. That's different, right? That's support. That is somebody that constantly talks about you, constantly shares your content, constantly is reaching out to you to make sure you're okay, constantly trying to figure out what you have going on next so they can figure out how they can fit supporting you into their schedule. Again, just a share. That is free. Just talking about it is free. Understand the difference, cousins. So, and then my favorite one, y'all know how I said the must be nice. And I only say that because in our community, cousins, our community, our people be like, ooh, must be nice, or ooh, I'm trying to get like you, big money. Yeah, get on this, big money. It is nice. What do you mean? I put a lot of work into this. Yeah, it's nice. I'm reaping the benefits of the work that I've put in. So don't confuse the two. And again, cousins, our community, we have our funny ways of our showing our appreciation for people that have risen and have moved into a successful role. So don't get caught up with being in between that difference. If you're genuinely happy for somebody, be happy for somebody. If you're genuinely not, you probably need to keep watching this podcast, and you probably need to work on your growth, cousin, because we are not dimming nobody's lights. We're just working on our own. Don't forget that. So, cousins, your success is not a crime. So don't feel bad for being successful, and don't feel bad for elevating. Don't feel bad for not being the person you were or the person that people want to reference you to. Don't feel bad for that. You're supposed to grow. That's a part of life. Your real friends are going to clap for you, not compete with you. Your glow up isn't hurting anyone unless they want you to stay small. So don't forget that. The only time a person is going to have a lot to say about what you have going on is either they're projecting their own failures or they want you to stay small. Don't forget that. You don't owe guilt to anybody. Shine regardless. Even if you don't feel like where you're at currently is your thriving moment in success. Stay there, stay growing, stay elevating. Do not be afraid of knowledge. Knowledge is ultimately going to be key. And they tell us all the time, if you don't want cousins, if you don't want us to know something, put it in a book. Let's change that narrative. Start looking for continued education. Start opening up books, cousins. Success comes from things they feel like we cannot get. Make sure we start obtaining these things. So I hope this episode reminded y'all that your greatest blessings are actually meant for you. And just like me, living with imposter syndrome, I'm going to get to a point where I feel like I deserve this. I'm going to get to a point where I feel like my hard work is actually starting to benefit itself. And now I'm getting the feedback that I was looking for. I'm getting the feedback that my hard work is appreciated, that this podcast is reaching people, that people are actually putting forward the steps and actually growing, that I'm actually getting the feedback I want. But I'm still definitely in imposter syndrome because, cousins, I put this platform up to show y'all that I'm not above no one. So that's how I feel. I'm not above you guys. I'm not above the true dream here. So next week, we are going to talk about friendships and why they expire and why we stay in platonic relationships too long, why we're scared to venture out. And a lot of that comes from that success guilt. So think about your friends, think about the relationships that you've outgrown and how they no longer fit your future. But until next time, I am your cousin, Meesh West Coast, your favorite cousin. And y'all, season 3 is back and we're hot. So please like, comment, subscribe, tap in with us on Instagram. If you guys want the full recipe to this episode, I will have it linked in my bio. In my highlights on Instagram and TikTok. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to DM me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.